Meeting in the foyer.
Yes, we're back, like the sequel reboot you didn't know you needed, but you fall in love with just like you did the first time. Here we are in our favourite place, the Temple of Cinema, and meeting me in the foyer to assist in meeting you is Queen of Critics, Linda Marrick. How are you doing, Linda?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? It's been
Very
a
well,
long
thank you.
time coming.
It
It's been
has.
a very long time, yeah.
Yes,
Uh,
it's been an intermittent service of recent weeks due to summer holidays, but
yes, we both were away, and then, it's nice to have a break every now and again. Although cinema doesn't sleep and movies have come out in our absence, but hey ho.
they
But
certainly have. I've actually been to see one at the cinema during my time off. I went to see Superman just last week, which I very much enjoyed. You've seen that now, haven't you?
I have not yet.
Have you not, Linda?
Look, so the week it came out, I was on holiday, and the screening for it was exactly like I think it was either on a Tuesday or a Wednesday when the week of I was away, and I begged them to show it to me before they were like, no, we're not showing it. Anyone press, no press is seeing it until week of release. So I ended up having to go on holiday without having seen it, and then when I came back, it just I had other movies to see, so I never got around to it. I will go. I will. I promise.
You disappoint me, Linda. You
I
disappoint.
know. I know.
The whole of Krypton is disappointed in you.
I know. I am disappointed as well, but it's still in cinemas, isn't it? So
It
I'm
is. It
gonna go
is.
see it like maybe this weekend.
I would. It
Yeah,
definitely. It's a great film to see on the weekend. It's a
yeah.
really fun film. Um, so yes, we return to the happy task that's always a pleasure, never a chore, of bringing you reviews of what's hot or maybe not at the box office this week. Plus, we take a walk down memory lane with a classic movie which you can catch at the Royal Albert Hall with the Royal Philharmonic Concert Orchestra in October. So why don't we start with a review of a film Linda has seen? This week, Linda is locked and loaded and all tooled up, ready to bring us a review of comedian, actor, and director Zach Cregger's Weapons. So, is this horror mystery on target or a total misfire? Let's find out.
Mr. Graff, I can understand your passion, and I don't mind having these conversations with you because, God forbid, if it was my child, I'd be demanding answers too. Those kids walked out of those homes. No one pulled them out. No one forced them. What do you see that I don't?
Linda.
Well, I mean, I'm literally almost just fresh out of seeing it. I saw it this afternoon, like at 1 p.m., and it's a 2 hour long movie, and it's still very fresh in my mind, and it's probably easily one of my favorite horror movies of all time so
Wow.
far. Um, I was not, I mean, I knew that I was so intrigued by the premise, and I really like Zach Cregger's because I really liked his movie Barbarian a couple of years ago. That just was so innovative, so fresh, and so brilliant, and so well, sort of socially charged, but also quite funny. And I love those kind of horror movies. I love horror movies that actually it was more almost like a portmanteau film, Barbarian. This is completely different. It's got big stars, like really massive stars, and it's Josh Brolin is in here. He's also a producer on the movie. Julia Garner, who we last saw in the Fantastic Four. Benedict Wong, the legend that is Benedict Wong, who's in Marvel movies, and he's also a hero of mine, a brilliant British Chinese actor who's been in pretty much everything and anything, and I'm always happy to see him in big Hollywood movies because I'm a big fan, and I've been a big fan of his acting for a very long time, but over 2 decades. So it's all lovely to see him in this. Eldon Ehrenreich, who we like. Many people will say, "Oh, he's not really done anything with his career." I feel like he's been choosing his roles really, really well, and in this, his acting is really on point. So I just absolutely brilliant cast. Amy Madigan plays an incredible role in here. I am not going to give anything away. Literally cannot give anything away because if I do, it will just ruin the movie for you. I know you're not likely to see it, Jawa, because you're a bit of a wuss.
Yep.
But this is scary, creepy, thought-provoking, so well done, like really, like cinematically it's really well done. So the story takes it's at a kind of an unnamed city in the middle of America. One night, 17 children who all go to the same school but also are all in the same class, um, just simultaneously wake up and run at 2 a.m. in the morning, and decide to sort of walk out of their home and to never be seen again. They all disappear. There's a big mystery in the town. Obviously, there's a lot of anger. The parents want to know what happened to their children, and because of it, they start accusing the kids teacher, who is played by Julia Garner, Justine Gandy, who is a very troubled young woman. She drinks a bit too much. She has issues. She's sleeping with a married man, or with an engaged man who's about to be married. She's flawed, let's say, but she's also a really kind person. She also wants to know what happened to all her students, why they all disappeared. And I think the film, for me, I also think this review would work better if I didn't give away more plot, because it's really important that I don't hint at anything, just for you to be able to enjoy the movie. And like I really hope everyone is very responsible in their reviews and not to give anything away. I went in completely blind. I'd watched one trailer for it, and I'd been on tenterhooks for ever since. And I was just being like, I've been like, oh my God, just give me this movie already. I just want to know what's happening in it. And so yeah, I think it's better that you don't know anything about it. It's better, and it's got like different. It goes by different paces, and it's cut in chapters. And each chapter, I think he did that in Barbarian as well. Each chapter is told from the point of view of a different character, almost like a Rashomon type thing. Um, uh, I just loved this movie. It's horrific in parts. It's also extremely well performed by Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, who's an incredible actor again, Alden Ehrenreich, who as I say, has, for me, I don't care what people say that he's not really made it that big. I feel like he is the kind of actor. He is another Josh Brolin, I feel like he's someone who's, as I said earlier, chosen his role really carefully, and there is no shame in that, and there's no shame in having a slow career rather than like a career that's stratospheric and then that goes nowhere. So it's always lovely to see him in things. Yeah, brilliant direction, brilliant writing by Zach Cregger. I just cannot believe that one person can have all these ideas. It's funny, it's intriguing, it's uh, absolutely horrifying, and it feeds into all our biggest fears of the unknown. And it's so well done. It's brilliant. Yeah, I have nothing else I want to say really about this. I just think like it's definitely my film of the week, and it's a 5 star out of 5.
Well,
Yeah, fantastic movie, another brilliant movie from Craigers. I just, I think he's going very far, and I think, I some people might sort of compare it to Hereditary or to Midsummer, which are both absolutely brilliant films. I feel like it's a film of. I think it's got better, like the maturity in writing is actually better than those movies. But then again, like I also gave those movies 5 stars. So I think I'm just happy there are Hollywood young directors in Hollywood writing such brilliant horrors that are not just about the gore. There's tons of gore in this, don't get me wrong. There's some horrific stuff that happens, but I feel like it's always nice to see young directors working with these kind of subjects and sort of knowing where to take it to the sort of humor side and knowing where to take it into the serious side. It's really well done. It's brilliant. Yeah. That's it. I have nothing more to say.
Well, that's kind of good because for me, obviously, the more you said, the less I wanted to see it. But because, as you say,
Sorry.
I am
Sorry.
a giant wuss. So, but it sounds amazing. Maybe I'll yeah, find someone to hold my hand
I think you should go. I think you should go see it. It
and
starts very slow and then it gets okay. I can't really say anything.
oh, so I might make the first 30 minutes and then I can just go and run and hide in the
No,
bathroom.
no, and then barking dog in the background. So, yeah, no, it's look, you, you feel free to close your eyes at the horrible stuff, but it's so intriguing that it's gonna make you sit there and wait for the twist because there is a
Yeah.
giant twist. So,
The concept's very intriguing. There's something nagging at the back of my brain about the this idea of children disappearing in the night, but
yeah.
I can't quite pin it at the moment. But yeah, yeah, it does sound very familiar.
It's a hell of a premise, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
like, wow. I mean, like if you gave that as an elevator pitch to someone, they'll just go, yeah, write me that script straight away because there is something about that premise. There's something about children disappearing, like it's creepy. It's like,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. So it's an original story.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, okay. Because I
That's
mean,
why I'm impressed with it.
it's got a sort of vibe of Stephen King about it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Telling, yeah.
I think evidently he must be a King fan. Who isn't? I mean, any writer, any sort of, you're not. Oh, really? Oh, I'm a
No,
big.
not really. Well,
Oh,
you
oh, no, I'm a big fan of King.
yeah,
I just think any writer, anyone wanting to sort of write in order to adapt things for film has to be a King fan, has to be that. So I think King's later books have not been great, but I think all his earlier stuff's just brilliant.
right.
Mm.
I will have to give him more of a chance.
Okay.
So I mean, Kreger sounds like he's one step away from being Hollywood's Dennis Waterman. He writes, he produces, he did the score for this as well, didn't he? Yeah.
I believe so.
Was
Oh,
it?
the score is incredible. It's incredible. So creepy. It's so
Yeah.
like almost. Oh, if I like this the if I tell you what it sounds like, I'm gonna give too much away, and I just feel like it's not really worth me giving anything away. I just want people to discover it completely blank slate. Go in as a blank slate. Do not read anything about it. Don't read the reviews. And there's one thing I hate in life, and it's people, critics writing reviews with twists and with spoilers in them, and I just think that's completely out of order. You are letting down your readers. It's a betrayal, really, of a reader.
Totally agree.
Doing that.
My joke aside, he sounds like sort of the new John Carpenter, really, doesn't he? With his
Yeah, 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 yeah. No,
he's so involved.
yeah.
And as you say, always great to see Benedict Wong, who I think I remember him first from it was the IT crowd, wasn't it? He turned up doing Street Countdown, which is just amazing.
Well, he's
Um,
just been around forever, hasn't he? It's just
yeah,
always lovely to see him in stuff, isn't it? It's like he's
exactly.
also, I think, recently in the Three Body Problem on Netflix. I don't know if you saw that. This season, next season is should be on like in a few weeks' time as well. So, season two. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like it's a very, very it's an adaptation of a sci-fi novel. And
Right.
it's a really, really interesting. You might be interested in that. It's I think it's only like 8 episodes. And they're all on Netflix. You can go and watch them now. So it's a Netflix production.
I shall look that up after the show. Fantastic. So as I know you hated it so much, so I've brought it back. I've got my post-review question for you, Linda, but I've changed it up a bit. It's still cinema themed though. So are you going to say, is it salty or sweet?
Oh God, it's definitely not sweet. There's nothing sweet about it. It's definitely salty. Yeah, yeah,
That's
definitely.
that's good actually, because I much prefer salty popcorn
Yeah,
to sweet
yeah,
myself.
yeah. Nothing sweet about it. I mean, there is humor in it,
Mm.
and like there are moments where you just can't help but laugh. There are some really horrific, sort of like heartbreaking stuff that happens, but it all in all, it's just such a clever premise, and like I just wish I'd thought of it, really. I'm almost jealous. Yeah.
It's speaking of Stephen King now, I did actually watch a Stephen King film this weekend. I watched The Life of Chuck on
Oh, okay.
today, I think it was.
Yeah,
Uh,
like a duck, yeah.
I have to say, didn't particularly like it.
I didn't like it. Thank God. People are like going on about how brilliant it is. La la la. I just hated it
Yeah,
so much. I just thought it was just so up its own
yep.
area, so superfluous, and like I I just didn't see the point of it. And like,
It's sort of
not a really good story either.
no, I mean it just seems like Hollywood's going through this phase of end of the world films, which allow them to do this sort of philosophizing, but it's more sort of just sort of really amateur philosophizing. It's really sort of, studenty. Because there's a Margot Robbie film coming out soon. What's it called? Big Beautiful Adventure or Big Beautiful Journey, I think it is. Her and Colin Farrell, which looks very similar, sort of surreal, jumping into worlds, going through doors, and of course, Life of Chuck, was just so pretentious, really, with its 3 acts and the acts in the wrong order, and Tom Hiddleston doing dancing as well. Just no, no.
I like the dancing bit. I like that. I love Tom Hiddleston. I just think he's just so charming and lovely, and such a good actor. And when he came, I said, like you could see the face throughout the film, and then when he came on, eventually, I was like, oh, thank God,
Oh,
Uh,
really? I liked I liked the final part, which would be Act One with the
mm,
child. I quite like that bit, but yeah, no, not for me, not for me.
yeah, me neither. Me neither.
Brilliant. Right, well, that's it. That's your first option if you're heading to the box office this weekend. I won't be joining you. You won't be surprised to know, but more to come from Linda later on. So why don't we run down the box office top 10? And as we've been on holiday for a couple of weeks, it should be all brand new films,
Mm.
shouldn't it? So as we record at 10, proving me wrong, it's Danny Boyle's post-apocalyptic horror 28 years later.
Brilliant film. Brilliant, brilliant movie. Have you seen it yet?
No, that was my other choice. I had a choice of Life of Chuck or 28 years later, and I
Oh,
chose.
come on.
I know.
You chose Chuck instead of zombies.
I know, but it had Chiwetel Ejiofor, and I didn't know anything about it. And
You should have asked me.
I know. Well, yeah,
I'm a phone call away.
true.
I should be making all your choices.
I'll watch it soon. I will watch it soon. At 9, still in the top 10 as well, How to Train Your Dragon, and its 8th week in the chart, the live-ish action remake, which I also watched over the holiday.
Did you like it?
It was all right.
I thought it was kind of cute.
Yeah. It didn't come up to the animation for me, but
Yeah. It's exactly the same thing. There's just a little bit of change, but the storyline is very similar, isn't it?
yeah. I thought it was odd that they had Nick Frost in it and didn't really get him to do anything funny. I thought that was a bit of a what else we got? At 8, I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's 3rd week already on the chart.
Yeah, not seen it. It wasn't screened to press, so
No,
make of that what you will.
The fourth installment and sequel to Part 2, as it ignores the straight to DVD Part 3 in the franchise that I've always considered the sort of poor man's version of Scream, really. But at 7, highbrow cinema now, it's Smurfs in its third week in the chart. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, it's not great, really.
I couldn't imagine. So, never been a Smurfs fan, actually, myself. At 6, I do apologise for the pronunciation. I'm going to say Sayara, a Indian Hindi language movie, which has made $1 million in its 3 weeks, which is great. What have we got? 5, F1, still in the top 5.
Great movie, really good movie.
Yeah.
Good summer blockbuster. It's got a good story, even if it's a bit sort of like predictable. A good story, good subject. And it's very, like the action is brilliant. Brad is Brad, and Damson Idris is brilliant. Is a brilliant new star, and if you are a fan of F1, you know about it already, and I just think it's really well done, and it's entertaining, and I wasn't bored for 1 second. And I'm someone who has almost no interest at all in racing, Yeah,
I look forward to seeing that. It's already made 20 million, just above it, and already made 28 million in just 5 weeks. It's Jurassic World Rebirth, which I know you enjoyed seeing. I mean, that's proper summer action movie.
These are just to if anyone is watching internationally, these are the numbers just for the UK. Just
yes. Right, good point. Well said. At 3, Bad Guys 2, which slightly surprised me. The first one was all right, but as I say, didn't shout for a sequel. But,
it was all right.
Yeah.
A bit of a pointless sequel, really. No, did anyone actually ask for it? I don't know.
No, I can't imagine so. At number 2, the film Linda has just blotted her copybook by not seeing. It's Superman. Fourth week out now. Already made 22 million. I'm not saying anything revelatory here. It's going to be the biggest superhero film of the year. It's going to outperform all 3 Marvel films that have been released this year. Although at number 1 of those Marvel films is Fantastic Four: First Steps in its second week of release, which has made 8 million, which is actually a lower take than Superman made in the same time period. Hence my prediction for Superman. So have you seen that one? Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic Four, I've seen, yeah, and I really liked it. I didn't think it was faultless, but I really liked the retro sort of, it looks almost like 60s, it looks very much like the comics in the 60s, and I really liked that. I just thought it was so well done. And I like everyone in it, like a really good cast, really that you want to cheer on, and just thought it was quite a breath of fresh air, that it wasn't too it wasn't trying to connect too much to the other Marvels. It was its own little story, and it's really well done, and it didn't overstay its welcome. It's not 2.5 hours, it's not 2 hours long, it's just under 2 hours. I thought it was really well done, and we all love Pedro Pascal, who is just an angel, really. He's great in the role, and I liked everyone in it.
And coincidentally, that film, Fantastic Four and Superman, both feature heroes with terrible haircuts. I don't know if there's some link there, but the new Johnny Storm, it's got an awful blonde haircut.
Yeah, bleached.
And as does the Green Lantern in Superman, but they actually make a joke out of that. But just a coincidence, I guess. That's your top 10 for in the UK at the moment. So why don't we return to Linda for a film I might actually be brave enough to go and see. So it's time for Linda to reboot and return with a sequel to a film that was a commercial success 22 years ago, which itself was the third adaptation of its source material and the fifth installment overall in the franchise, with this now being the seventh in the franchise.
Yeah, as you say, it is an adaptation of Mary Rodgers' 1972 novel. And we've seen loads of different sort of creations of the same story, if it's like body swapping comedies. And they tend to be, they were at one point very, very, very popular, these body swap comedies. And we haven't had one like this again for a while, and it's really lovely to see. I actually, when I heard that they were going to bring back the both Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis, I was wondering how they're going to do this, how they're going to outdo that, because that's a really beloved movie, Freaky Friday. This is Freakier Friday.
What was that? We switch bodies. I'm literally my mother. And I'm the eldest? Just can't. Clap and touch toes. Last time, we convinced everyone that we were each other until we switched back.
I have no idea what old people talk about.
Transitional lenses? John Mayer?
You got the essentials.
Where does this go?
I would never show that much cleavage.
You do now.
I know what this is. You're having a stroke. We need to get you help.
Girls, this is serious. We need to figure it out. We'll be stuck like this forever. Chill, okay? I am the adult here. Doesn't look like it.
Disney's Freakier Friday in theaters August 8th. Get tickets now. Rated PG.
As you said, 22 years after the first movie, we brought like they're grown up, and Lindsay Lohan's character is Tess Coleman, who was a teenager in the first movie. She's now a mother to a teenager, and she was in the first film. She was a budding musician. In this, she's a music producer, and so, a high flying kind of executive, someone who knows where she's going in life. And her mother is now semi-retired as a psychologist. Brilliant. I just absolutely love Jamie Lee Curtis in this. It's just funny, and it's so these are the original characters, but we also have some bonus characters. You can't make a teenage comedy without teenagers. So we've got Julia Butters, who's a newcomer. She plays the daughter of Anna, Lindsay, and Harper. She is rebellious, but also quite clever and very independent, and like gets on with her mum. But generally, Sophia Hammonds plays Lily Davis, who's the daughter of Anna's new boyfriend, who is played by Manny Jacinto, who we know from the Good Place. The young Asian guy from The Good Place, who is in love with Tahani. Did you ever watch The Good Place?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. No.
Oh God, I love The Good Place. Anyway, so yeah. All in all, I don't think the storyline really matters. So the storyline is she falls in love. Her the Lindsay Lohan character falls in love with the father of her daughter's worst enemy at school. The girls don't get on at all, and then suddenly their parents are dating, and then 6 months later they've decided to get married, and they must all move back. They are from the UK, so they must all move from California to the UK, and her daughter Harper is not happy with it. Harper, the daughter of Anna, is not happy with it. She wants to stay in California because she's a surfer. She wants to stay there. So she wishes the two of them had never met. She wishes Her mom and her boyfriend had never met. She wants to split them up, and then there is ensues the body swap thing, and this time it's a double body swap. So the both parents. So the Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis characters do not swap bodies with each other. It's the older women swap with the younger women, if that makes any sense, with the teenagers, and hilarity ensues when they all have to sort of to talk like each other. I just thought this was so well done, and I had forgotten how good Lindsay Lohan was at comedy. You know, she's in Mean Girls. Don't forget, I mean, she's done some really awful, iffy movies, and absolutely she's been terrible in them. But she was in Mean Girls, and she was in The Parent Trap, and she's been in loads of like really, really good movies. And I had forgotten what a good actress she was, and I just thought, you know, when she has to swap from being her now, and she's what, like almost 40
Mm.
to being a 14-year-old or 15-year-old teenager, and she has to speak like her. I thought so well acted. Jamie Lee Curtis, can't touch her. Brilliant comedy timing, very, very good at everything. Um, I just have such a soft spot for these two characters. I love the original movie. And I love this as well. There is a couple of subplots that don't quite work, and you wish they weren't there because I I understand why they were there because they were like a device for the big crescendo number at the end, but at the same time, I think they could have done a better job with creating a more or an alternative subplot. That some of it doesn't always work, but it's really funny. There's loads of gags about Gen Z and millennials and boomers, and you know, like I like that, all of that stuff. I like sort of the progress of language between the three generations, and how they all speak. I just thought it was so well done, so beautiful. It didn't have any airs and graces. There's nothing sort of there was very touching moments as well. And Michael Murray, who's Jake in the original one, you know, the very beautiful, good-looking boyfriend in the original movie, he makes an appearance halfway through the film. I just thought it was so good. This very sweet and, you know, inoffensive. It's not going to change anything in the world, but at the same time, they could have made such a pig's ear out of it, but they didn't. Like, they did a very, very good job here, and I was pleasantly surprised. Let's say.
Brilliant. I mean, not surely another five-star movie though.
No, no, four. I'd say four. I mean, I'd say 3.5, but I don't believe in halves.
Fair
So,
enough.
and I don't like, I don't, wouldn't, I think it's good enough to be a 4-star movie. I just think I encourage anyone with teenagers to just take their kids and go because it's really funny. It
Brilliant.
is very funny. Yeah.
I have to see it. I mean, I have to admit, I've never seen the first version, the first one of theirs. I've seen the Jodie Foster version,
Yeah.
and I read the book actually at school and absolutely loved it. I thought
Yeah.
it's such a great book. But I'll have to see the first Lindsay Lohan one, and then I can catch up with this one. That's wonderful. So, I mean, is this the Lindsay Lohan resurgence we're witnessing now?
I think so because she's been in a couple of like let's say Christmas movies for Netflix that were absolutely terrible, such
Mm,
a terrible, and even she was terrible in them because when you give someone very mediocre material, there is nothing they can do with it to make it better. I just think she is a really good actress and she really demonstrates it here. And now I wish, I mean, at one point she was being offered roles in really serious movies, you know, like she would have been like a really an Oscar winning actress had she not gone off the rails in the sort of early 2000s and whenever it was. And I feel like she's grown up now and she's ready. I just hope that she doesn't just take that kind of route of like just going for the usual comedies. I feel like she's better than that, and I think she's actually a good enough actress to be given some big hefty roles.
yes. No, I mean, it would be an amazing comeback after all this time to
Hmm.
see her come back. And yeah, as you say, it'd be great to see her do some other stuff because she's kind of the queen of remakes, really, isn't she? Because the Parent Trap and the
Love the Parent Trap. I love both version,
yeah,
Hayley Mills version and the Lindsay Lohan. I for a very long time, I really loved Hayley Mills, like because it was my mum's favorite movie growing up, and she passed it on to me. And when the second Parent Trap was made, I felt like saying, oh, well, that's not, they ruined my favorite movie. But then, no, it's really well done as well. It's actually quite well done. So,
yeah, and of course, then she did the Herbie films as well. So
yeah,
she likes a remake. But yeah, no, that sounds great. I'm
she's really
definitely.
grown. And I feel like she might have been taking acting classes. But then, no, I just genuinely think she is a good actress. I think she is. She's, if you give her a good enough script to work on, and there are some really funny gags in this that really work. Yeah, very good.
Well, as you say, she was fabulous in Mean Girls, and Mean Girls remains one of the great sort of teen comedies. It absolutely stands up. That's a great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, that's my choice made for me at the box office this week. I don't know about you. If you're feeling brave, you can go and see Weapons, but I'll be in the screening room for Freakier Friday. So, right, what else have we got? Oh, well, now, now it is my turn. So
Yes.
it's
Right.
classic time. Sit back, Linda. It's
Right. Okay.
I'm taking the wheel.
Right, go for it.
Because this week I'm taking you back to 1985 to the biggest film of the year. I don't know if that's given it away already. If it hasn't, jump in my DeLorean and let's go. Because this week I'm reviewing Back to the Future.
How far are you going?
About 30 years.
It's the American science fiction film directed by Robert Zemeckis and written by Zemeckis and Bob Gale, starring Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, Crispin Glover, and Thomas F. Wilson. Set in 1985, it follows Marty McFly, a teenager accidentally sent back in time to 1955 in a time-traveling DeLorean built by his eccentric scientist friend Emmett Doc Brown, played by Christopher Lloyd, where he inadvertently prevents his future parents from falling in love, threatening his own existence, and is forced to reconcile and somehow get back to the future. I'll give you the intro to the plot. In 1985, teenager Marty McFly lives in Hill Valley, California, with his depressed alcoholic mother Lorraine and his siblings, who are professional and social failures, and his meek father George, who is bullied by his supervisor Biff Tannen. After Marty's band fails a music audition, he confides in his girlfriend Jennifer Parker that he fears becoming like his parents despite his ambitions. That night, Marty meets his eccentric scientist friend Emmett Doc Brown in the Twin Pines Mall. Doc unveils a time machine built from a modified DeLorean powered by plutonium he swindled from Libyan terrorists. I mean, as with my last review for Jaws, this is right up in my top 5 films of all time. It's just, I'm not going to hide the headline here. It's perfect. It's such a brilliant film. I watched it again this week. I absolutely loved it. I then had to carry on and watch the sequels as well. It's just a brilliant film. It's peak 80s cinema, which is odd actually, because only about a third of the film is actually set in the 80s. Yeah, so Bob Gale, the writer, got the idea from visiting his parents and seeing their yearbook, and he wondered if he and his father would have actually been friends if they had gone to school at the same time, and he didn't think so, which gave him the idea that he could test that theory if he could travel back in time, and hang around with his parents at a similar age to him. Originally, the time machine was going to be a sort of stationary object that they moved around with a lorry, and was going to be powered by Coca-Cola. But then they came up with the idea of using the iconic, or the car they made iconic, the DeLorean, the sort of failed car built in Ireland, which is just one of the most iconic prop cars of all time. As I say, it stars Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly, Christopher Lloyd as Doc Brown, Leah Thompson as Lorraine Baines McFly, Marty's mother, Crispin Glover as George McFly, his father, and Thomas F. Wilson as Biff Tannen. It also has Claudia Wells as Marty's girlfriend, Jennifer Parker. Huey Lewis makes a cameo appearance and appears on the soundtrack, of course. And Billy Zane makes an early appearance as one of Biff's cohorts. And James Tolkien plays school principal Strickland. So Michael J. Fox was the first choice to play the lead in this, but because of his time spent on his TV show, which escapes my memory at the moment, he wasn't able to do it. So they ended up casting Eric Stoltz. He actually then worked on the film for a month before they ended up firing him, because they said he just wasn't working. He was playing it very serious, and apparently he was playing it method as well, and had to be referred to as Marty McFly at all times, which is bizarre. He also wouldn't eat with anyone else, and he would eat his meals alone in his trailer, and just created a really bad atmosphere. And Leah Thompson said that once he was fired and Michael J. Fox brought in, everything just changed, and the film just came to life, and everyone was having a much better time. They basically considered every 80s actor going to play Marty McFly. John Cusack, Thomas Howell, Johnny Depp, Ralph Macchio, Charlie Sheen, Ben Stiller, Billy Zane, Robert Downey Jr. was up for it as well, and Matthew Modine. So they
I
were
mean, it would have been good, I think.
Yes, I think you're right. Actually, their front runner initially was C. Thomas Howell, but as I say, they ended up casting Stoltz, and the producer Scheinberg made the promise that if it didn't work out, Zemeckis would be allowed to reshoot the film, which he probably regretted because he did end up reshooting the film. And then for Doc Brown, they were considering again a huge list of names: Jeff Goldblum, John Lithgow, Dudley Moore, Ron Silver, Robin Williams, John Cleese, Gene Hackman, weirdly, James Woods as well. They were going to go with Lithgow, but he was actually unavailable. So they cast Christopher Lloyd, who initially turned it down, but then was persuaded to do it by his wife, I think. I mean, Crispin Glover is also brilliant in this film. His payoff moment near the end, where he finally stands up to his school bully, his acting, it's purely in his face. It's just amazing to watch him transform from the nerd George McFly into the hero of the moment. It's absolutely brilliant, and they're all brilliant. There's some great slapstick. I particularly love the moment where Michael J. Fox as Marty is on his mother's bed, and he says to her, "Where are my trousers? Where are my pants?" And she says, "On my hope chest," which in itself is a great line. But then when he's trying to pull on his trousers and he just falls over on his face, just brilliant. I mean, this film made him a star, and rightly so, because he's just so charismatic. He just shines in this film, and so does Christopher Lloyd. The pair of them are just magic together. Like I say, it's hard to imagine anyone else playing the roles, but as I said, Stoltz was there for a month filming it before they finally realized they'd made a mistake. As I'm sure you know, it's another Spielberg production. You end up thinking, no Spielberg, no 80s movies, really, and a much poorer childhood for all us Gen Xers. Doc is brilliant. He's just such a lovable character. His inventions remind me of sort of Heath Robinson, and there's a bit of you must have seen Pee Wee Herman, Pee Wee's Great Adventure, isn't it? The first Tim Burton film where you open in the kitchen and you've got this huge breakfast making machine. And there's sort of there's touches of that. The film is beautifully shot. The framing, the setups. It's sort of got touches of Hitchcock in the way that it tells the story with pictures. I mean, it opens, as I mentioned with my review of 39 Steps a few weeks ago, it opens the same way. It opens on feet, and you just see these feet walking into the room, and then you eventually see his hands. You see a skateboard. The skateboard rolls across and bangs into a chest of plutonium, and he's just building up the story just in pictures. And we haven't even seen the face of Marty McFly yet. It's probably one of the best films for foreshadowing I've ever seen. As I say, it builds everything up. There's newspaper articles all over the place. There's bits of radio playing in the background telling you there's been plutonium stolen, which is the device used to power the DeLorean. There's radio, TV. It's just brilliant. There's so much detail in this film, which probably benefited, due to the fact that they had to reshoot so much of it, that they were constantly able to rework the script and add new bits into it. When I watched it this week, though, there was one bit that struck me as odd. Is the film establishes Marty's siblings, and then they barely play any part in the film. They appear again at the end, and he uses them as a prop with his photograph of them disappearing, signifying how time is changing. But that's it, and you get this reference to their jailbird Joey, his uncle, never mentioned again, which is slightly odd. But as I say, other than that, a near perfect film. It's set in the town, and the town square is actually the same set used in the Gremlins, which is a lovely little factoid of cinema I like. For me, all the effects still stand up, apart from one shot when the DeLorean first disappears and the flames appear and they're standing on them, and it's quite obviously blue screen. But other than that, I think the effects still look brilliant. There's a moment where Biff crashes his car for the first time into a truck of manure, and the manure truck has on the side D. Jones. And I wondered whether that was an Indiana Jones reference to sort of pay tribute to Spielberg. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it did strike me this time. As I think I've said before, it's an 80s film, and there's a surprising amount of swearing in it, which is still rated as a universal film, which kind of blows my mind. And I still think it's fine for the whole family to watch, but there is, quite a lot of expletives used in the film. And of course, some people at the time were quite uncertain, shall we say, about the plot line of Marty and his mum potentially making out in a car, which is why the writers insisted that it was Elaine who had to say, no, this is weird and we're not doing this. It's and so, as I said, beautifully shot. There are moments where you see details in the back of frame which just improve it. I felt like they must have been sponsored by Pepsi.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
It is, constantly. Obviously, he orders Pepsi at the start of the film. There's Pepsi cans on his bed head. He orders a Pepsi when he goes back to the 50s. I even noticed this time when he's playing Johnny Be Good at the end of the film, his amplifier is sat on a Pepsi chest. Just relentless Pepsiness, which is sort of odd, I thought, because Coke would have been the more obvious choice for the 50s, but
Coke is Coke, you see. If you go in for a burger, you order a Coke.
yeah.
That's why Pepsi needs a bit more of a push.
Yeah.
Needs to pay people to sort of make them,
Yeah, and of course, it was
Yeah.
big in the 80s, wasn't it, Pepsi? Um, but for all of this, the core of the film, for me, is the friendship between Doc and Marty. It's a really beautiful friendship. They're two outcasts who sort of find each other, and their belief in each other boosts each other up, because Marty, certainly as a child when I watched it, he's so cool. He's skateboarding around, he's playing in a band, he's got a girlfriend. he travels in time. It just seems so cool. But when you realize he's actually really insecure, and he's a bit of a dweeb himself, and Doc is this outcast as well. He's shunned by society, and he's this crazy crackpot professor. And I say that the two of them sort of boost each other up, and they're able to take these leaps of faith and take risks, which is kind of the message of the film. Take a chance. Your future isn't predetermined. You can change your future and be what you want to be. Um, I've heard a lot of people recently say that the film sort of expresses a sort of money possession driven 80s ethos, which I can see their point, because Marty lusts after this pickup truck, and he wants possessions, and of course the family's success is measured in them becoming rich and successful. But I really feel like it's more about friendship and taking control of your destiny, really. um it's also got a there is also a dog in it called Einstein. It's got a brilliant score by Alan Silvestri, who said he wanted to create a heroic, recognizable score that you could recognize in just a few notes, which he absolutely did do. And the little tinkling sound that starts each film, I've got as my message alert on my phone to this day. Um, it's just great, and it's a film that almost didn't happen because Zemeckis had a run of duds, and but the year before he released *Romancing the Stone*, and that success allowed him to go and make this. Like I said, no one expected this film to be a success. It was considered too tame compared to other 80s teen comedies, and loads of other sci-fi films had failed before they got there. So the producer suggested loads of changes to the film, such as changing the title to Spaceman from Pluto, because he thought the title Back to the Future would put audiences off. I mean, why he thought Spaceman from Pluto was a good title, I don't know. He wanted the name of Marty's mother changed from Meg to Lorraine, in tribute to Lorraine Gary, who, of course, starred in my review of last week, Jaws. And he chose for Professor Brown to be called Doc Brown, which so he got 2 out of 3 right. So fair play to the producer. Despite '85 being considered a bad year for film, this was a huge success. It was an absolute smash. It went on to be the biggest film of the year by far, outperforming Rocky IV and Rambo. So good year for Stallone as well. It of course spawned 2 sequels, which surprisingly now one realizes were never planned. It was planned as a one and done, and when you watch it now, it's got that "to be continued" on the end, which was tagged on for when it was released on VHS, and for re-releases in the cinema, because it's been re-released so many times. I saw it back in I think it was 2010 when it got re-released for an anniversary, and saw that on a big screen, which was amazing. As I said, this might be the film that started it all for me. It was released on VHS to rent in 1986, and that's when I saw it. I mean, staggeringly, when it was released in America, you had to pay $80 for it back in 1986, which is insane. But yeah, I saw it that year, and it just changed my life. It sort of showed me what films could do, because up until that time I'd just seen kids films or some Bond films, and this just absolutely blew my mind that this is what cinema could be. And I've just been in love with cinema and this film ever since. It got released on DVD for the first time in 2002. I bought it on that day.
Yeah.
I took it home. I put it on with a group of friends. They all let me down. They got bored and walked out halfway through. I watched it again. I've watched it again so many times. I just love this film. As I say, it went on. They released Back to the Future 2 in 1989, which I didn't love initially. It's very complicated. But the more I watch it, the more it ages with me. It grows, and it really impresses me how clever it is. And then, of course, Back to the Future 3 the following year in 1990, which is just brilliant. Again, wasn't mad keen at first because it changes the tone so much, becoming a Western, but just a brilliant film. So I called The Goonies a few weeks ago the greatest kids film of all time. I think this might be the greatest teen family film ever made. There won't ever be a Back to the Future 4. but we've got 3 perfect films to watch again and again and again. But that's enough time spent in the past. Now let's get you back to the future.
Brilliant. Would you be terribly offended if someone had the idea of remaking them?
No, I wouldn't be offended. I've been wrong before when I've said I can't see how you can remake these films and make it good enough to be worthwhile. As I said, I've been wrong before, but you can't better it. I don't think. They're welcome to have a go.
I feel if it's if Spielberg's own company is involved and he gets to pick the screenplay and decide who the director is and who's going to play Marty, if he's involved like deep down, I feel like it could be something good and it will introduce the character and the story to a younger, because I do have a feeling that loads of, like with the Gen Alpha and Gen Z, they don't like to watch older movies. They're almost like put off by it because they can't relate to that era. But at the same time, I think that they'd be open to have their own story told through that story. So yeah, who knows?
Well, I mean, I don't want to give you nightmares, Linda, but the reality is, if it was the same time period, Marty wouldn't travel back to the 50s. He would travel back to 1995 if it were made this year, which is just horrifying.
Horrifying.
I mean, that was only yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to see it, definitely, and see what they could do with jumping forward as well, going into the future, which would be, what would that be? That would be, it was 30 years forward, so that would be 2055. So yeah, I'll be interested. But yes, let's get back to the present day, and why don't we round up with a bit of news for this week? So what have we got? We've got the news that John Krasinski will once again be bringing hushed silence to cinema auditoriums, as he has announced he will write, direct, and produce Quiet Place 3, set for release 9th of July, 2027.
Don't tell us. Don't tell us about it till it's near.
Sorry.
Really winds me up. Don't tell us yet. Go and make the movie, and then when you're ready, show us the movie. I don't want to wait 2 whole years for a movie. It's ridiculous.
It's amazing they can be so specific with the release date that far ahead as well. But no, I love the first 2. I enjoyed the prequel as well, but
First Day, with Lupita Nyong'o.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
be good that.
We've got a trailer for Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Again, temper your excitement though, as you've still got 12 months for this one to hit cinemas.
We ready?
Speaking of Spider-Man, it's been announced that Mark Ruffalo will reprise his role of the Hulk/Bruce Banner in Holland's Spidey Forkwell, Brand New Day. The
It's been filmed in Glasgow?
Yes, that's right. Yes, yes. Because when they think New York, they think Glasgow. It's either Glasgow or it's Liverpool. So many times Liverpool has been used. I think Glasgow's kind of got the New York wrapped up, and Liverpool's more Chicago, apparently. What else have we got? A trailer for Zootropolis 2 sequel to 2016's Zootropolis/Zootopia.
Welcome to Partners in Crisis. I'm your therapy animal, Dr. Fuzzbee. Greg, we talked about that. What are we making Merlin? Uncomfortable. Yes. And Francine, Clark may be a mouse, but he is your partner first. And we have 2 new partners. Can you tell us about your journey to Dysfunction Junction?
Well, we've been official partners for 1 week. Happy anniversary. And we are functioning fine. Better than fine. And we did sort of save the city. So us being here kind of seems like a huge misunderstanding.
Notice how she answered first, did not allow her partner to speak, and taps her foot when she's suppressing discomfort. And observe the source of her discomfort, represented by the disconnected affectation of her emotionally insecure partner. But for now, we begin by greeting our teammate. Okay, unfortunately, Karen has chosen to see Joel's smile as a sign of aggression. Hackles down, Karen. Karen, hackles down. Someone get the hose.
Bunny, Fox. This is a make or break assignment. Fail and I will split you up.
No snake has set foot in Zootopia in forever.
Hops and Wild?
Wild and Hops. The dream team. Sorry, Paul.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Keep the second ring right now.
Stop in the name of the law! I'm really sorry.
No.
Stop pulling my ears, stop pulling my ears. Never pull up on his ears. I have to help my family.
You know, this is not your worst idea.
Wow, that was almost a compliment.
Your worst idea is what you did with your ears.
That's due for release this year in November. I enjoyed that, actually, the first one, I have to say. But it's been 9 years since that came out. Yeah. Tim Burton clearly saw the Barbie movie trailer and has been inspired to try and cast the already massive star Margot Robbie in his remake of Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. Apparently Robbie will decide whether she'll step into the giant pumps when she sees the next draft of the script. So no idea when that'll be coming out, or they haven't finished writing it. Yeah. I've never actually seen the original either, I have to admit.
I have, I think. Yeah. No, or have I? I'm sure I have, yeah.
You must have. You've seen them all, apart from Superman. And lastly, we've got a trailer for Richard Linklater's new film starring Ethan Hawke and Andrew Scott. That's Blue Moon.
I need a drink.
Big smile.
We write together for a quarter of a century, and the first show he writes with someone else is gonna be the biggest hit he ever had. Am I bitter, Larry? Yes.
For over 20 years, Hart and his partner Richard Rodgers created a string of hits.
I want 10 copies of that.
Write me a check.
Such as My Funny Valentine, The Lady is a Tramp, and Blue Moon.
Your work is brilliant. That's not the problem. No, I'm not drinking with you, Larry. They should put my picture on that bottle. The whiskey that made Loren's heart unemployable. I think we should be dreaming about new Rodgers and Hart, something people haven't seen before, something big. We have to work like professionals, Larry. It's a business. That's all. Elizabeth, I adore this girl.
You're going to introduce me to Richard Rodgers, right?
She's a girl. See, I always thought that your interests went more towards...
My interests? So now you're going to analyze me? Thank you, Dr. Bacardi.
What do you think she sees in him? I think she recognizes she's being adored by one of the great appreciators of beauty.
There's no way around that one, is there? When the girl loves the guy with all of her heart and he just doesn't return her feeling? Do you have any idea what that feels like?
Nobody ever loved me that much. It's really striking. Are you and she... Oh, no. I mean, I'm in love with her. But everybody's in love with her.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone.
Wise guy.
Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
Due to release in October.
I'm such a big fan. I'm a massive Ethan Hawke fan, like a huge fan, and I've been a fan for Ethan Hawke since Dead Poet Society. Like literally, you know, his whole career, I've been a fan. And Richard Linklater, I just love him. I just think he gets it. He really is. And I love his ethos in filmmaking, that he doesn't care about. I know I was moaning about them, don't tell us, but he's someone who doesn't tell you when he's making a movie. He doesn't want to sort of, you know, he will take his time like he did with Boyhood, and you know, uh, and I really love that connection with him and Ethan Hawke, and working with him for the last 30 years and on such brilliant stories. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. Huge fan.
You must have seen Explorers, haven't you, Linda?
Explorers.
The kid film. It's Ethan Hawke and River Phoenix.
haven't.
Have you not? Oh, that's a great kids film.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, three boys invent a spaceship basically and travel into space. It's really good fun. Really good fun.
It's an animation.
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
No, it's and that's Hawke's first film. It's from 1985.
Okay.
Well, there's your homework for this week.
Genuinely never even heard of it, and I'm a massive Ethan Hawke fan. I'm like I've seen pretty much everything he's been in, and I think I've followed his sort of trajectory again, and I just have had admiration for his decisions, his sort of, and his views on stuff, on politics, and you know, I respect him as an actor. I think he's brilliant.
Right, well, that's it for this week. Time for myself and Linda to climb back in the DeLorean and hit 88 miles an hour so we can jump into the future and see all the new films and gather all the news so we can stay ahead of the pack and return back from the future with more reviews, news and chat soon. So until then, thank you for watching and listening. Meet me and Linda in the foyer again next week. And until then, from myself and Linda, goodbye.
Yeah. See you. Bye.
Bye. I guess maybe you're not ready for such a great show, but your kids are going to love it.
Meet me in the foyer.